As a global leader in testing services, we've been working with the world's biggest retailers and brands for over 30 years, providing a comprehensive range of testing to suppliers of apparel and textiles. The scope of what we test for has changed significantly in recent years and continues to change as consumers are ever more conscious of safety and quality. A good example is the continuous evolution of chemical safety restrictions as required under regulations such as the Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act in America. The types of testing we provide can be broken into essentially two areas: performance testing, where we look for quality of product against the client's requirements, and regulatory testing, where we assess products for their safety to the end user. Typical tests we undertake include flammability and chemical safety, where we test products for restrictive chemicals such as formaldehyde, phthalates, and heavy metals such as lead. In the retail industry, testing usually consists of testing in a multi-stage approach. Stage 1 is testing the prototype prior to full production to make sure the product meets performance and regulatory requirements. This allows the manufacturer adequate time to make adjustments to their product before the cost and time associated with full production. Stage 2 is done at production stage, typically 80% of completed production run. The types of testing is typically the same, however, this allows the vendor to validate that all relevant requirements for the retailer have been met prior to shipment. With over 50,000 employees worldwide, located in 330 laboratories in over 140 countries, Bureau Veritas is a global leader in conformity assessment and certification services. We assess products, processes and infrastructure against a variety of quality, health and safety, social compliance and environmental regulations.
The structure of our company is set up in such a way to support not only local manufacturers but also retailers. With locations in over 50 countries, we can support the supply chain in all major selling and sourcing regions. By utilizing local skill sets in tandem with global governance, Bureau Veritas is able to leverage real-time solutions for an ever-increasing supply chain demand that is more and more concerned with just-in-time sourcing. To support this approach, we have both local and global functions such as global information management, technical services, marketing, and HR, as well as local production staff focusing on delivering the service, whether it be testing, inspections, audit, or advisory.
At Bureau Veritas, it all starts with getting it right at the earliest possible stage. Typically, we support the retailers in understanding their obligations, whether that be the regulatory challenges in countries they are selling, sourcing requirements for countries they are buying from, as well as client-specific quality needs. Once this is understood, we craft unique policies and specifications for that client. Once a product concept has been designed, the buyer needs to identify a suitable supplier and factory who can manufacture that product to a high standard within a certain time frame. There are two areas we focus on. Firstly, we look at the technical ability of a factory to meet an order in terms of capacity and capability. Secondly, we look at the social conditions within a factory. Some companies' buying decisions, for example, price negotiation and order lead times, can make it difficult for suppliers to meet the ethical standards demanded of them. By embracing ethical trading, clients have a practical understanding of what it means to ethically trade and how they can integrate ethical procurement into buying practices. Most clients require factories undergo a social accountability audit to validate that they are socially responsible. We are also increasingly seeing a demand for environmental audits, especially important in the softlines business, where a lot of pollution occurs at mill level. As such, we are offering an environmental audit at the factory and mill level to manage and improve environmental impacts such as waste, water, energy, and hazardous chemicals.
The reason why Bureau Veritas goes to such lengths to ensure quality of product at the first time is to reduce returns, minimize the risk of recalls, and to counter any non-government organizations or NGO activity. Having testing and inspections done at an accredited and respected lab such as Bureau Veritas allows the retailer to demonstrate due diligence in a regulatory environment. However, we do offer support within the country of sale, delivering services such as in-store testing to validate ongoing conformity for high-risk products, as well as failure and return analysis to address root causes.
The complexity of maintaining compliance with regulatory requirements unique often to a country specific and changing on a regular basis, as well as client-specific requirements, requires strong controls to be put in place. As such, we utilise processes such as change management, lab capability development, global technical audits and an information resource centre which pulls regulatory developments from around the world, which can then be translated into client protocols. All of this gives us great assurance of global governance through local implementation. We also provide regular client review meetings to address these issues, as well as report on supply chain performance with an end goal of continual improvement.
I would say the most difficult aspect that we have in our daily life is communication. With labs going across 50 different countries, there's a wide array of different languages and cultures that get involved in the work. So having clear written and verbal skill set is a key requirement.
Absolutely. I'd say the key challenges when dealing with customers in terms of the retail global supply chain is twofold. Firstly, we need to align the head office requirements, whether it be UK or Europe or even over here in Japan, with the sourcing office and the supply chain understanding of those requirements. Once that's done, there's essentially 3 stages that we need to adopt with the clients, and this in itself brings new challenges. Firstly, we need to truly understand what the goals and the challenges faced by the supply chain is, or indeed the retailer in the head office. Secondly, the account manager, the business development person, needs to truly understand the full scope of services that Bureau Veritas offers, because that's very varied and very broad. And thirdly, they need to have the ability to develop a solution from those services to meet the challenges faced by the client, whether it be retailer, brand, or indeed the manufacturer.
3, 2, 1.
I'd say the prospects for this industry well, from my view, it's very exciting. The regulations keep on changing, especially when it comes down to chemical safety, as witnessed in the recent Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act in America. But also there's an increasing trend towards sustainability. So our services addressing quality, health and safety, social accountability and environment really position Bureau Veritas and indeed this whole industry very well for the future.
I would say the opportunities for any graduate is quite vast. We have really 2 different types of aspects here in both the technical and the non-technical side of our business. So whether you're in the chemical area doing analytical testing, the color fastness area, or the textile area, there's certainly a role to be played in the technical area. From a non-technical side, you can work in both the account management, production control, program management, human resources, information management areas. And with us being in over 140 countries, the opportunity to grow and expand is really great.